Right everyone, welcome back, hope we're all having a great day and we're all doing well. So if you watched my video the other day talking about how I believe that Ella and Zofia are the key to Nighthaven returning to Team Rainbow, you may have seen the part in the video where I'm talking about a lot of the relationships between Nighthaven and Rainbow operators. And why I actually think that these strong connections and friendships between the operators are going to be the reason as to why Nighthaven is going to join back with Rainbow. There's one of them I actually missed talking about, and that's because I actually wanted to dedicate a video to it itself, and that is actually the strong friendship between Thermite and Aruni. Now, before we continue with the video, I do want to quickly ask if this is your first time on this channel and you aren't subscribed yet. We are almost at 50,000 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed, hit that button right now, it's free, and if you end up not liking me, you can always unsub at a later date. So yes, Thermite and Aruni, two of my favourite operators to play in the game, actually knew each other before Aruni even joined Nighthaven and Team Rainbow, and heck, this was even before Thermite joined Team Rainbow and Team Rainbow even got reactivated. Just like how many operators worked together before they actually were a part of Team Rainbow, just like Sledge and Maestro who served in Iraq together. You can actually learn more about that in my Sledge lore video which we posted the other day. But yes, they actually did work together in Bangkok whilst Aruni was actually working as a private detective for the Royal Thai Police. And on one of these operations in Bangkok, she was actually working alongside Jordan Trace, known as Thermite. And in this operation, they were tracking down a weapons racket when it was actually discovered that there was a bomb. And it seems like this bomb was planted on a truck. Now, what seemed to be an attempt to get the bomb out of a high populated area, Aruni decided to drive the truck whilst Thermite stayed on the back and tried to defuse the bomb. The pair were seemingly doing quite well in this operation, however, that was until they actually ended up in a collision with another vehicle, causing the bomb to explode. So not only did they end up in a car accident, they also had an explosion occur as well. And both of them actually did survive this, however, Aruni, who was trapped in a vehicle, lost her left arm and her leg, which we now see in modern day Rainbow has been replaced by prosthetics made by Nighthaven, and Thermite, who was on the back of the truck, was seemingly thrown off the vehicle when the collision happened. However, since his hands were on the bomb at the time of the explosion, he did suffer third-degree burns on his hands and arms. And yes, when the game did first launch and Thermite was one of the base operators, it was kind of told that he got those burns whilst using his exothermic charges, which of course will burn you, but this was seemingly changed for this little bit of the story, as it does kind of add a lot more depth behind his burns and gives the character more meaning with Aruni, and I kind of just like how they've changed it. And at some point after this, Thermite will end up joining Team Rainbow, and at the current point in time, Aruni will return as a private detective after she recovered from her injuries. And of course, they will eventually reunite when Aruni, working under Nighthaven, will join Team Rainbow and meet her old friend Jordan once again. And when she actually did join Team Rainbow, we actually have a little report by Thermite talking about Aruni, which I am now going to read. So what Thermite says is, I've known Aoife, Aruni, Tao and Rung for years. She was a detective with the Royal Thai Police when we met. I didn't think she liked me at first, but she was just sizing me up. She's real cerebral, always processing something upstairs and making connections that aren't obvious to others. It's why she was such a good detective. We did some work together in Bangkok, but most of that ops details are still classified. She was hurt pretty bad. I thought we'd lost her. Aruni left the Royal Thai Police to focus on her rehabilitation. She met every challenge head on with her usual positivity and focus. After that, she returned to work as a private detective. She made some big busts whilst on the force, got a lot of good publicity. I suppose that's how Callie heard about her. It wasn't long after that Aruni signed on with Nighthaven. Between her keen senses and deductive capabilities, she makes one hell of a defender. We hadn't seen one another since that operation in Bangkok went pear-shaped, but I tried to keep in touch. I felt like I'd let her down, and her brief replies to my messages always seemed terse. I figured she was pissed off. Truth is, Aruni keeps herself busy. She's driven, highly motivated, and incredibly focused, so what I assumed was animosity on her part was just distraction. When we finally met up a few weeks ago, it was like nothing had ever changed. I'd love to work with Aruni again. Her role in Nighthaven probably won't allow for much official crossover, but she's a valuable addition to the program. She's also got a clever piece of tech that slows enemies down and restricts where they can go. We're on different teams for the Invitational, but once the games are behind us, we might have some time to reminisce. Thing is, Aruni doesn't dwell on the past. She's focused on the future, on moving forward, and making the world a safer place. I wish more of us shared her commitment to that philosophy. And that was Thermite talking about his good friend Aruni, who he did work on the Bangkok operation with, and still feels a bit of guilt for what happened to her. Although we do learn in the animation that accompanied Neon Dawn that Aruni does not blame Thermite for anything and still refers to him as her friend. And there was actually a little mention about the Invitational in that, and they actually did kind of continue this little arc between Thermite and Aruni in the CGI animation of the Invitational, operational, where Thermite, for some reason, goes to use an exothermic charge on a soft wall. Aruni punches her fist through, grabs him, punches him around a few times, gets the upper hand, gives him a little wink before she eliminates him. And of course, we actually made a video about this recently as well, how this is just training. They're not using real bullets, they're actually wearing high-tech suits underneath all their armor, which counts the damage, and operators know when to pretend to be immobile and then leave the scene once they are eliminated. But it does still hurt them because they are still getting hit with something at the end of the day, even though it's not a body-piercing bullet. I just really like how they kind of continued this little arc between Thermite and Aruni, even though it was only for a little moment with no verbal speaking. And so, fast forward a few years, Nighthaven breaks ties with Team Rainbow. That means that all Nighthaven operators also leave alongside Callie, as well as a few former Rainbow operatives now working under Nighthaven. And Team Rainbow actually gets separated into 4 squads with 4 leaders, one of them actually being Thermite, the leader of Red Hammer. And how it seems from that point is that Thermite and Aruni have once again lost their connection. Which is really sad because it seems like that friendship with Aruni was something that Thermite was longing for once again, only to lose it once more. Now, at the current point in time, I do believe that Team Rainbow and Nighthaven will start working again in the near future. As of upload, that hasn't happened yet, but you know, stay tuned for more information. Be sure to subscribe to learn more about the lore when it does develop. But on the most recent map, Nighthaven Labs, there was actually a little audio recorder of Callie giving psych notes about all the Nighthaven operators. And why I find this one quite interesting is because it talks about Aruni's allegiance and where her loyalties lie. And it kind of backs up my theory as to why I think these strong friendships and relationships between the operators on both Nighthaven and Team Rainbow is going to be the key to them working together again. So what Callie actually says is, Aruni is often asked why she stays with Nighthaven, as if there was somewhere else she would rather be. People forget the obstacles she's faced even before the Bangkok operation. What measure of loyalty she has with this unit isn't important compared to the value she places on being able to operate unhindered. My contributions to her philanthropic efforts are a convenient reminder that Nighthaven is the best home for her skills. I just find it quite interesting that in Aruni's one, a big part of it is her loyalty to Nighthaven and why she is staying with Nighthaven. I just think it kind of reinforces that entire theory that it is the operators' relationships at the core of this game and story is the most major thing. Just like how in gameplay, it is the synergy between the gadgets that win the rounds, in the lore, it's the synergy between the operators themselves, their relationships, and their friendships that will ultimately defeat Deimos at the end of the day. So hopefully this isn't the end of Thermite's and Aruni's story, and we do learn more about them in the future because I just really do enjoy their friendship. I think it is a very well portrayed one, and I just like how every time you see them on screen together, they're laughing, they're smiling, they clearly care for each other. And heck, I'd like to learn a little bit more about the Bangkok operation as well and go really into detail about what actually happened on that operation, because like Thermite says, a lot of it is classified. And so guys, this was my video about Thermite and Aruni. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about the friendship between these two operators? Do you like it? Are you not a biggest fan of it? I'm interested to hear everyone's thoughts. So as always guys, drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, dislike it if you did not, subscribe if you're new, and I shall catch you all later. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.